Hi, I'm Eric Bolling in for Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching this special edition of The Factor Election 2016. We begin tonight with more outrageous comments from Hillary Clinton as questions about her secret email server and falling poll numbers follow her everywhere. Hillary is unleashing inflammatory attacks against the GOP.
I know that there are some on the other side who are seriously advocating to deport 11, 12 million people who are working here. I find it the height of irony that a party which espouses small government would want to unleash a massive law enforcement effort, including perhaps National Guard and others, to go and literally pull people out of their homes and their workplaces, round them up, put them, I don't know, in buses, boxcars, in order to take them across our border. I just find that not only absurd, but appalling.
Well, this comes a day after Hillary compared Republicans to terrorists.
Extreme views about women, we expect that from some of the terrorist groups. We expect that from people who don't want to live in the modern world. But it's a little hard to take coming from Republicans who want to be the president of the United States.
Really? But Hillary supporters quickly doubled down.
So she wasn't calling them terrorists. She was saying, why is the Republican Party so out of date? And truly, I mean, if you look at what these candidates are espousing, no exceptions for rape or incest. I mean,
okay,
come on.
So no apology is necessary.
No
apology. Okay.
I mean, that's kind of ironic, Chris, don't you think, coming from the party with Donald Trump with such inflammatory, wild rhetoric. No, I think she's totally right to call them out on their extremism.
Well, Republicans were quick to pounce.
They won't call terrorists terrorists, going all the way back to Benghazi and even before that, but they call their political opponents terrorists.
So is this another unforced Clinton error, or is the former Secretary of State telling Democratic primary voters exactly what they want to hear? With us now, Jeff Smith, a former Democrat state senator from Missouri and a professor at the New School here in New York City. And from Tampa, Florida, Adam Goodman, a Republican strategist. Adam, I'm going to start with you right off the bat. That first Hillary Clinton soundbite, she mentioned boxcars. Now, a day ago, she compared GOP to terrorists. Boxcars, the first reference I think of is Nazis bringing Jews to their ultimate demise. Was this an unforced error, or was that perfectly placed by the Clinton campaign?
It's unbelievably unhinged. I mean, you're hearing the hyperbole of desperation from a campaign that's flailing in message and falling in the polls. She's upside down, Eric, in terms of believability. 6 out of 10 Americans don't trust her. She's upside down in terms of likability. And increasingly, she's going the wrong way in terms of inevitability. At a time when Americans want real and genuine, what they're really seeing from Hillary is deceit and dishonesty. And she's got to do better than that if she expects to not only be the nominee of her party, but to be a serious combatant for president of the United States.
Jeff, now you were state senator, but now you're a professor. You hear Hillary Clinton use the term boxcars. What comes to your mind?
Well, clearly, it may not have been the best way to phrase things, but everyone's making such a big deal out of the word she's using. What I think Republicans are doing right now is
you don't have a problem with
I think
the
Republicans are making a desperate attempt to distract from their own party's rhetoric. Look, in 2013,
let's stay on Hillary though. Yesterday she compares GOP to terrorists. I mean, that was outrageous enough. I'm listening to that. I go, really? Did she really just do that? And then she doubled down even worse and mentioned talking about a Republican strategy on immigration, and she compares that to Nazis.
And the Republican strategy on immigration to deport 12 million people is totally ridiculous, and everyone knows it. In 2013, Reince Priebus said, we've got to change the tone. He did the autopsy, the RNC autopsy of the 2012 election. He said, the one policy thing we've got to do differently is to do something about immigration.
Off-the-cuff remark or a planned comment? Boxcars.
Probably an off-the-cuff remark.
What do you say, Adam?
Off-the-cuff remark. I mean, can you imagine what that means to Jews, not only in this country, but across the world? Can you imagine what that means to people who lived through the history of all of that? It's not only insulting and out of place, it's wrong, but it really reveals a candidate that's kind of flailing and in trouble. And actually, you know, we've heard a lot recently, Eric, about the possibility that Joe Biden may enter into the race for president. I can tell you it may actually be the best thing that ever happened to Hillary, because right now, as she seeks a coronation to the nomination, she's doing very, very badly. She's going to need someone to up her game, and if she does not, she's not going to be ready for prime time when it counts.
Adam, Marco Rubio, we play a soundbite of Marco Rubio saying the Democrats can't even call terrorists, but they want to call GOP terrorists. You want to weigh in on that?
I do. I mean, this is the time, and whether you like Donald Trump or not, he's bringing it and kind of bringing it straight. People want straight talk right now more than ever, at a time when most Americans are kind of shaking in their boots about our inability as a country to get things done. So I think Marco is absolutely on the right track. Call things for what they are, and then let's find out what the remedies that are needed to turn this country around and go for it.
Jeff,
Hillary seems to be really concerned about choosing tough words as opposed to being ready to bring tough action.
And maybe, Jeff, let me ask you this. Is she using the word, comparing GOPers to terrorists? She's using the word boxcars, inciting the Nazi reference. Maybe it's because of the recent Q poll that showed that the most common word associated with Hillary Clinton amongst Democrats and Republicans is liar. Is untrustworthy.
Well, first of all, I'd say that Bill Clinton didn't have the best reputation for being trustworthy in this country, but it didn't stop him from getting elected and reelected and presiding over 8 years of peace and prosperity.
was a master politician.
We're not going
to say that you're not putting Hillary Clinton in the same category as Bill Clinton as far as a politician.
It doesn't mean that someone can't be elected. And he presided over 8 years of peace and prosperity, which you can't say for his predecessor.
Is she trying to change, like you are right now, trying to change the debate from her poll numbers and her untrustworthiness and her liar and all these sort of things where she's underwater into, hey, if she says things like terrorist and boxcars, we forgot about the Q poll that came out yesterday.
I don't think that's a concerted strategy. What I think is important to recognize, you can't beat somebody with nobody. And right now, the word that's most closely associated with the Republican frontrunners, Donald Trump and Jeb Bush, are arrogant and Bush. And since Jeb's brother left office with an approval rating about equal to what Nixon's was during impeachment, I don't think Republicans should be feeling too happy.
Adam, this is how they're good. This is how the left does it. They ask them a question, they bring it right back to something else. And we're on Hillary and her comments, and then we brought it back to Bush and Trump. Last thought, Adam, very quick.
Well, what we just heard is, instead of answering questions, they'd like to demonize. What Hillary's tried to do, Eric, she's tried to deflect, ignore, and attack. Right now, she's on the attack, and none of those things have worked. She better come up with something better, or Joe Biden's not only going to get in this race, he's going to be everything she can handle.
Adam and Jeff, thank you very much. Next on the rundown, new problems stalk Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail. Ed Henry on that when The Factor comes right back.